And guess what? The new earth is not going to unfold out there. It's in you. Bring your focus back inside. Keep it real.
Hello and welcome back to another video on the Lucy Davis Intuitive Transformation channel. My name is Lucy Davis, quite clearly, and I am joined today with one of my favourite people on the planet, one of my soul sisters from many lifetimes. We've walked this path so many times together. The beautiful, beautiful Deborah Collings. How are you, babe?
Oh, darling. I'm so good and I'm so happy to see you. And look at you, you're a brown bunny.
I know.
Wowsy. You've been out in the sun getting your downloads, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you, every time I look online and I see you, I think she's had more sun, she looks good, she looks healthy, it's amazing. I couldn't stress enough to people, I mean, we're in winter in Melbourne here, but to get out in the sun, you know. And by the way, I'm Deb, so, you know, Deborah is my proper name. And it's funny because spiritually, I don't know if I told you this, Luce, but I was told to use my name because it's Deborah. There's some frequencies in that Ra from the sun and all of that stuff. So I meant to use it on paper, you know, on my website and stuff, but I use Deb's because it's kind of fun me. But I've got many facets of me. And it's funny because even, you know, when you just said to me, I'll mention who you are, I was thinking, wow. Even in this life, I identify as being a corporate person from the past. I identify being with a gym bunny from the past. You know, I was in the health and fitness as well. I identify with just about every facet of a personality of someone. Like when you really get lined up with who you are, you literally, you don't lose yourself, but you lose your sense of personality. You're kind of like, you know, you just expand into all of you. So you tend to adapt when you're on different things. So like now you'll see that obviously the people see different parts. But my main role right now, obviously, you know, if you've seen me on another call with Lucy, I live in a totally conscious family unit. And that's almost, it's kind of like, and I put it, that's been my joy in this life. To marry the right man, to bring a child into the world and to be conscious about it, babe. I mean, when you go unconscious or if you've got karmic relationships, it's tougher. We haven't done that tough. We've been very conscious about how we brought him up. And, you know, and so that's my big thing. Families, love helping the families. But you know, and I know that I work one-on-one with people as well. And you know, we're a bit the same like this. So when you want to, you know, anything you do, you kind of just go, let's do it. You get into it. And when you came to me first all those years ago, I thought, yeah, same. Like, you just got to get onto life. You got to get into it. So what I help people with is I help them link back to their self. I mean, you'll probably put my website there, but that's one of my passions because once you're back with you bloody know what to do, right? And this world needs it. Yeah, you do. But it is a natural unfolding, as you know. I'd love to say there's a push button like, yes, magic, but I like to help people quicken things because that's the way I've done it. And I really think, babe, that you can only be, the best way to put this is your offering to this world is who you become, you know. So I lined up and I'm living the conscious family unit. And that's what I can offer people, you know, things to help them along that way. And I thought today, keeping it real, like, I mean, for me right now, that's probably the most important thing. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's real, what's not. Like, it's chaotic out there.
Yeah.
But not in here.
It's about questioning everything right now, isn't it? We are all questioning everything. And it's good to be in that vibration, but it does feel very chaotic. Yeah. You know, it does feel very chaotic. It does feel very scattered, I think is a really good word for it. It's a little bit like, what am I doing? For some people, not everybody. Like,
yeah. Well, it's like that until you do a few things. So we're going to help people. I mean, some of this will be reminders to the people that, you know, follow you. Yeah. Because, you know, I know some of your peeps too, and you have a great crowd. Yeah. So some of them will be reminders. And Some of them will be a little, I mean, it might be new to some people, but just flow with it. But yeah, I had to write a few notes because honestly, I'm finding I'm totally living in the moment. And if I don't write something down, it's amazing. It just like comes in and pops off.
I'm finding the same, which is weird for us too. It's really weird.
Well, only if we're presenting or giving information to help people, like sharing is caring. So that's what we're doing. And we want to make sure we give them the right information, right? And I didn't want to miss things out. And I think for me, because I work one-on-one with people, like I'm watching, you get this too, you start seeing patterns of things. Oh, this is not happening. People have forgotten how to do this or that. So if you get that, and I get it with a lot of people, then if I share it, it will help many. Because most people will be feeling something the same, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So one of the key things that I think is important about keeping it real, think about what reality is really and what's real. The only things that are real, babe, are what you're focusing on. Like, if you think about reality, the word reality, it's got the word real in it. Right, so wherever you're focusing, and I've noticed lately with you said, oh, I'm retracting all my energy from all the old systems, all the old crap. I'm not putting my energy there anymore. All my energy is coming back in to build the new. And that's what everybody needs to do, because what's happening is people are getting very distracted about every facet of change on this planet. But really what's real is what you're energizing, right? So I started to notice this with clients, like with all the conspiracies, with all different facets of change, right? The planet's going, everyone's going through an awakening. It's a personal journey. And all that stuff serves you to a certain degree, like all those conspiracies, all of that truth movement, it's helpful because it shakes people awake. But if you keep giving your light and your focus to something, and I know, it just grows. Anything you fight comes back at you. In fact, anything you engage has the ability to engage with you as well. And in this fractious world, I'd say to people, if you want to like keep it real and you want to have your reality to be your version of you, then you can't keep feeding what's out there. You can't keep looking at conspiracy websites. You can't keep feeding the bullshit. If you are, it might mean there's something old there, old lives or whatever, that needs tidying up. If you feel this strong desire to have to focus on helping something, there's probably something in there on a soul level that needs balancing, or there might be a role you're going to play in to change that on the planet. But truly, if you're just looking at material, and especially if you look at it and it makes you feel crap, like I always had this thought, I'd say, look, if you're watching something or listening to something and you're not feeling it, turn it off. Because you're bringing that into your reality. You're making it real. So to keep it real, cut it off. So I know for me, I've said to clients, like, get off websites or undo any connections you've got where you get regular emails, like, about updates on things, because that just consumes your energy, and really simplify things. Like I always say to people, go through your email list, cut things off, go through your Facebook, cut things off. Anything that regularly comes into your box that you're either not resonating to, or you're putting energy where you don't, basically you're putting energy into things you don't want. Really think about that. It's huge.
Can I just say something, Debs? Because a lot of people, I like to explain to people that every interaction you have, whether it be with your phone, whether it be with a person, whether it be with an animal, it's an energy exchange. And so many people don't quite see it like that, and you're explaining it really beautifully. But I just want to bring it back in so that people recognize that every single thing they're doing, you are giving permission to that person to engage. And it's really interesting because a lot of my clients at the moment are like, I don't know why this person's doing that. I don't know why I'm getting this message. I don't know why. And it's like, because you're engaging with it, and you can cut that off just like that if you choose to.
Definitely. And you've got to discern that for yourself and just ask yourself, do I want that in my world? Am I going to focus on it and keep allowing that to grow? And obviously when stuff comes into someone's world, you've got that mirror. And I know you talk to your people about that, where people will mirror back things you've got to look at. Okay, we know about the mirror, so check in. But if you actually sit with yourself, let's imagine you're looking at something and you put your hand on your heart, and all you've got to do is this: you just say, to your heart, is that me? Is that my reality? And if it's not, turn it off. So, and we do have that ability, because a lot of the stuff we look at and the way we engage these days is online, so you can switch off. You can unpack things. So for me, I think you've got to do that, because really, when you think about it, I mean, when I think about now and a year ago, even the last time we did a call, there's been it's basically, there's way more consciousness than there ever has been on this planet, ever. Right? So consciousness is awareness, right? That's energy. So as that rises up, obviously all these truths keep coming out, and obviously when some people need to look at those truths and it shakes them away. But with the growing consciousness, you get more awareness. It's quicker and easier to do stuff, connecting with our higher self, doing anything. It's actually easier, right? And so it's actually much easier now than it was a couple of years ago. And people don't realize when they're in a session, I'll say to them, you're talking from your higher self right now. And they're like, oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. What I'm finding really interesting is that, for people like us who woke up years ago and went through that really long, painful freaking process.
Yeah, it was long and painful.
Now I'm in awe of these people that are like clearing things in a week, in a month, in a day, and I'm inside of me, part of me, I'm like, why the fuck did I take the tough route? But you know what, I'm taking it for the team. But it's really incredible the way that people are healing. And an observation that I've had here whilst I've been away, because I'm around a lot of children at the moment, is how many kids are like flying around as if they've got nothing attached to them, and they're just like these crystal kids.
Well, their DNA, they're clicking.
That you're watching them clear their parents, and I'm like, wow, this is absolutely incredible, and it's just so quick.
And when they piss their parents off, they're bringing stuff up for them. Exactly. So you're right, they're clearing their parents left, right and center. And it's funny. And I said to you before as well, when I first spoke to you yesterday, that I tuned into the children, because I can tune into the collective of the children, babe. And I did that. And obviously, Caleb's awake and he's 14, so he tuned in from his perspective. Should I tell you what we got? I wrote it down, because I was like, people need to hear this, especially parents, right? Because parents often come to me and they say to me, Deb, my kids, things are going so wrong with my kid. And they've, obviously when people start to wake up, they realize there's a reflection of them somewhere along the line. So they've got to look at something. And even last week, I had a lady, and a lot of things going on with the son. And he's still at home, and he's sort of millennial, he's early 20s. And she enables him, and she knows it, but she's trying to break this pattern. But things are going wrong with him, but it's not him. He's messaging her because she needed to come in. He actually got her in for the session. So in a way, he instigated getting her in for the session.
Amazing.
So with the kids, the millennials, the teenagers, just remember their DNAs, they're wired for this world. They're wired for all this new stuff coming in, totally wired. And I started to look and I thought, wow, we don't need to save the kids as much as we need to get aligned for the kids. So this is what came in. Let me read it, because I want to keep it pure. Right, so we got the younger ones first, and I'm talking like between, the babies to 8 years old. And this is what I got. We're energetically equipped for the new world. You don't have to worry about that. But we need a parent or a teacher or someone in our world that is aligned. When someone's aligned with their spirit or their higher self, however people want to think about it, if they're clear, the kid will bridge off that.
Wow.
And that's all they need. Like your girls, your sisters have got you. As long as it's one person, they said, they'll reach out.
Wow.
So that's what the younger ones
Oh, I've got
said.
goosebumps all over me because I've been seeing that whilst I've been here. I've got goosebumps from head to toe, Debs. That really resonates.
And babe, you're so there for your sisters, and they know you, and you know. So kids know how to find that aligned parent or a sister or somebody in their zone, right? But I thought it was really cool that they said, look, we're equipped, we're energetically equipped. Because often we look at the young ones and think, oh, you know, this, you worry about what the world's going to be like, but they're here for this world. They're cool. So anyway, that was the younger ones.
I love that.
Then Caleb, babe, listen to this. Caleb tuned into the teenagers. And, you know, that changing teenage, they're getting, their personality is interesting, you know, because they need to fit in and everything. And Caleb said, what they need to hear is this. And obviously this is if someone's listening to this, they're awake on some level. So this is what the teenagers need to hear. You don't need to fit in. You are here to change things, but you're changing things by being here. You're perfect as you are, just by being here. Because what's interesting is Caleb said to me, they don't want to hear you're here, you're here to change things. Just that, he said, because they're going to feel overloaded. They're going to feel like they're carrying the planet. Oh, and our kids don't want that, babe. No, it's not cool.
And it's not fair.
So it's not right. You know, it's like we're handing them our crap that we didn't sort out.
Here, you sort it out now.
Whatever.
See ya.
So it's so funny, but that's really what's been happening. So anyway, they just need to know it's okay. You don't have to fit in. And this made me laugh too, because Caleb said, you said this to me once, Mum, and I would say this. There are enough carbon copies out there, just be yourself. And it was like, it's so simple, but you know how teenagers, because since we're talking about that, they want to fit in, they want to, you know, and they're under that kind of peer pressure. Well, thankfully, you know, I've got Caleb homeschooling now, so we don't have to think about all that crap out there. But if people are out there, you know, in some way, in some subtle way, parents got to get that message through to their teenager. Because otherwise they end up getting lost for a bit, and they don't have to. And the most important thing about the kids, model to them alignment, model good behavior, model things to them. If you want them to be kind and caring, them show kindness and caring to them, you know. But parents often tell them what to do, and this is where you have to check yourself, you know, check yourself around the kids. Anyway, that was just an extra, but we did tune in, and I'm talking to the children all the time. And what was funny for me, babe, because, you know, living in this conscious family unit, I've always thought, oh, I've got to get more out about the kids. But guess what? As I keep tuning in, they're like, we're okay. We're okay. Keep waking up those adults. Keep waking up those adults. It's so powerful. Amazing. So don't worry about your kids. Start thinking, what am I not doing? And how is my kid showing me?
Ownership, Debs. This whole cycle has been about ownership for me. It's about taking your power back,
responsibility,
your love. Taking responsibility. You know, really checking yourself in the mirror.
And be honest, babe, because everyone's gone, you know, if people have been on a path for a little while, they're going right to the bottom of the barrel. And something might pop up and you think, shit, where did that come from? Right? And then it's just continual refinement. There's not a magic button, there's a refinement. But be honest with yourself and be responsible.
The other thing that I've noticed as well is that people go, but I've dealt with that.
Oh yeah,
that's the other one at the moment. I dealt with that 2 years ago, and I'm like,
but it comes around.
You nicely,
it comes around. And the other thing I'll say about that, and I was going to mention it here anyway, sometimes those patterns that are playing out are not just our old lives, they might be a bit of the ancestral stuff. So sometimes if a pain in a body persists, or if an issue persists, it might just be an ancestral pattern. So it comes around, keeps coming around. And, you know, that's why I unhook with people, because one of my things is to get where I am with the alignment I have, you know, with how I work. Obviously, I unpacked all my old lives and stuff, but then I started unpacking ancestral stuff and unhooking agreements. I even started seeing where I'd made agreements before I bloody came in, and obviously I didn't know, and then I had to unlock them. And it's actually easy to unlock them in a session. Once you've unlocked them, it unlocks to someone else anyway.
I remember,
but
just on that, Debs, because I think it would be good to
yeah,
get some clarity for people. I've obviously worked with you. I think I did my first session with you, 2015, 2016, after being introduced by Hannah.
Like 4 years ago, something like that. Years. Like and that's a long time ago.
Yeah. And you know, I had a lot of agreements, I had entities, I had all sorts of stuff going on, and I'm very open about this because, you know, we do need help to clear this stuff. We do need help to elevate us through this. So, you know, if you are somebody that feels like you're in a loop, you know, Debs is a great, I always recommend Debs. People always say, oh, who can I go and see for QHHT? I always recommend Debs because I know that she can work amazingly over Zoom. Not all QHHT therapists, practitioners can, but I know that Debs is amazing, which is why I obviously always recognize Debs, because I wouldn't go to anyone else. That's as simple as that.
Well, your experience, I guess we ended up together for a reason, so it helps get to the rest of the soul family. But just to clarify things there, QHHT is Dolores Cannon's work, right? When you came to see me and stay with us that time, that was QHHT. But the work I do online is called Integrate Your Life. So what I actually do is that session shorter, but because my brain is holographic, you know how this works. I always get you to write, I used to get you to write things out that were coming up, and we could go straight to the origin of it. So that's actually what I do. I help people cut to the bullshit, because you can be cycling in stuff for a long time. And it frustrates the hell out of you. You get angry at yourself. So it's really, but someone has to be ready to come and see me, because once you come, it's going to quicken everything, and it's going to take you, it is going to be a quantum leap, and not everybody wants that. So I'll have to say that, which is why I wrote it on my website, because I don't suit everybody. But anything you're doing anyway, do quantum. But you know, just know nothing's going back as our life was before. So get on the bandwagon. Don't hold things up. Don't stall your process, because we are not going back to how it was before, and it's going to continue to quicken. It's
the resistance. Remember, if you resist it, you're going to get your hands burnt. You know, if you're holding onto a rope, you're going to get burnt. So just release the flow and just go along with it.
Totally. And you know, the hardest thing that this is so amazing. Like you'll find this when you're working with people, but one of the things that they find the hardest to do is let go. So we identify something, right? And I say to them, right, let go. And you know, I'm looking at it, you know, with the other vision, and I'm looking and thinking, I say to them, breathe it out. And I'm watching, I'm thinking, you're not letting that go, because some people have identified with a problem so much that they want to hold on to it.
It's become their makeup. It's become their makeup. It's become their literal living, breathing story.
So you have to get good at letting go, and you have to get good at trusting your own flow. All right. And there's ways you can do that. There's some things that I'll share, but it's not going back. And the other thing I wanted to mention is this was huge. I got this the other day. I was like, oh my God. Right. So when you think about it, where we are at right now on this planet has never been like this before, right? We haven't been in this moment before. It's auspicious. It's amazing. It's incredible. So it's not going back, and we can't look back for answers. Like we can't go back to the ancestors and ancient, even Lemurians and Atlantis. None of them got it right? Everything, you know, if you think about it, we're here now, and it's like a chance to really do it different way. So we're not going back. So even when you're connecting with things like ascended masters and stuff, guess what? Think about them. Look, they got their embodiment, they connected, and then they popped off. They left the realm. They didn't stick around here. But guess what we're doing? We're descending and staying here and birthing the new earth out from inside us. So if you're looking to bloody ascended masters, gurus, and everyone, that's going to just slow you. I'm not saying that they can't be helpful, but guess what? That's not where we're at. We're in the new. You keep talking about that to your people. We're in new energy, and you need you.
I'm so glad that you've mentioned this, Debs, because I keep meeting people. Yeah, cheers. If I have my water, I'd cheers you right back, my babe.
Where's your water?
It's just out of reach there. What I love about this is that I have met so many people in the last 2 years, particularly Debs, who are telling me that they're incarnates of Jesus or whoever, right? And that they're so convinced that they are. And I'm like, that's great, and that's all cool. But you're not that person right now. You know, I'm Lucy Davis. I have to step up and I have to do what I need to do. Like, who cares if I was somebody else before? Because we didn't freaking do it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here in the first place. So stop being hung up on the ego. I think it's the spiritual ego of being associated to an ascended master, an archangel or whatever. And people are being preyed on because of this. So I love everything that you've just said, Deb.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in a minute as well. Because I'm telling you now, and you're gonna so click with this. There are okay, so it's pretty busy out there, right? And energetically, you know, there's a lot of energy, a lot of stuff going on. There are cloaked beings that claim to be ascended masters, and there are even people that I know online that are saying they're talking to them. Babes, they're not, some of them. And so I'm not saying that this is the case for all, but it's you need. Your own high self, your master self, and I'll explain a bit more about it. It's not the outside. I know that when you're with someone or when you're listening to a call like this, it might stimulate things and remind you of stuff, but we're reminding you of what you need to remember, because it's you with you. It's not, you know, it's this alignment again. It comes back, and guess what? The new earth is not going to unfold out there. It's in you, babies. We're birthing it. I look like I'm birthing it at the moment, but do you know what I mean? Like,
do you remember when I had that phantom pregnancy about a year ago, and I was like, Debs, I've got massive boobs, I've got a belly coming, and you're like, you're birthing new earth, girl, like, let it out.
This is the thing though, and the body obviously will often show, and it's funny because as I keep expanding, I keep saying to my body, now listen, that's enough expansion. But it's so funny because you you love your body and all of that, and I'll talk about the body, but you don't get hung up on the stuff you used to, like, right? No. It's so funny because you just, like you were saying about the wrinkles, for goodness sakes, guys, it's the being that you are. And it's still nice to look nice and all that, but it's just that there's this fine line, right? So yeah, it's not going back. You can't rely on ascended masters, and they would be the ones that are saying, come on guys, you can do it, you know, because it wasn't done before. We can do this, guys, and all we've got to do is line up. So I wanted to offer a little bit of a actually this came up in a meditation a couple of days ago, and because we were talking about keeping it real, I was thinking about the word reality, and I mentioned it before, like, reality's got the word real in it. Listen to this, like, this came through so clear, and I was like, whoa. And I'm just going to leave it with people, but somebody needs to hear this, right? Reality is a way of perceiving via your senses. So think about the human senses, eyes, ears, and smell. Reality is really just it's a way you perceive. Now, guess what? As you vibe up, as you connect your higher self, your master self, etc., what happens is you perceive through different senses, which is why you can bring your messages through, and why you see different things, and why you know what's happening in the world, why we know, you know, blah, blah. So truly think about this, because like the way that I see, if anybody ever checks this out, I mean, you're not seeing what you think you're seeing. And so really reality is actually quite malleable. So I would say to you, keep focusing on what you want and not what you don't want. And remember, focus inside, so that your reality in here is going to come out, and you're going to be using different senses to that, right? You don't use traditional human senses to that. And as you vibe up, obviously do that. And I was thinking of this other thing, like a lot of people, you know how we throw around this word ascension. Well, it's just something I wanted to share. This is how I think about it. Like, I think of the planet being in an ascension phase, but I think about us descending. So I think, oh, that's right. No, we're not ascending like those guys took off. Buddha, once they'd done a bit of work, they took off. Oh, yeah. So we're descending, babe. We're coming here into this body. And that's phenomenal. So that's why, you know, starting to bring your energy into you and keep expanding and coming here, and being careful about not going up too much is super important. So I use words like, you know, you could use the enlightenment or embodiment or dissension, But just think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not vibing up so we pee off. We're vibing up so we can realize our, bring our other parts of ourselves here. So it would be like a fully functioning self. And actually that's happening to Caleb and I really strongly. So because we're functioning in our humanness, but we're really doing these, it's like, I mean, there's all sorts of things. I may have told you this one, but where I can walk into the bathroom, and I did this a little while ago, and the bathroom was on a different timeline, like it was a different frequency in there. I walked in there and the room changed around me, and I was like, shit, okay. I just took a breath, right? I went, oh, okay, so reality is malleable. And I kept looking and thinking, wow, what is reality? What's real? It's how you're sensing. So because our senses are expanding, we're noticing this. You would have had this too, just like people would have had this that listen to us. You walk into a supermarket or a shop and no one sees you.
Yeah.
You've had this surely, right? Okay, so you're walking through. So we went into the supermarket the other day and we're in there as a family and we're talking to each other, and Caleb said to me, Mum, he's like this, he says, Mum, no one's looking at us. No one can see us. I said, I know, we're on a different timeline. He was looking at me. I said, but watch this. So we got up to the counter, and I can imagine you being like this. I said, hi, how are you? And I brought the person that was at the counter into her body. How are you? I started pulling her back in so she could serve me, so we could be there and have a moment. But we're just off the radar. Yeah. You can be sitting next to someone and having a completely different reality. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying to you, you choose your reality. You make real what you want and bring it from your inside out, and stop focusing on the outside or ascending masters or other people. I know those beings can help, but you got to get with you first, because once you're with you, you'll discern better, right? Because there is a bit of strangeness out there.
Such a good message, Deb. Such a good message.
Does that help?
Yeah, very much. This is going to bring a lot of people online. A lot of people.
I feel like it's like confirming some things you do with people, because you can't keep looking at this stuff. You look at it for a while, you shake yourself awake, and then you go, right. And it's true what they say, we're the ones we've been waiting for. Yeah. And we're just delaying the flaming hell out of it.
Thinking that we're the warriors.
Or someone's going to answer it for me, or whatever. And it's not true. Okay, so these are things that I just thought, I really need to tell people. The other thing, this is another big thing. Okay, so, and this is more for people who have been on the path for a while. Think about it like this: we are consciousness, right? Consciousness is not energy, right? Consciousness is our awareness. So we're aware, we're here. It's our awareness. That's what we are, consciousness. Now, people talk about us being energy, but we're not really. We're consciousness, and we work with energy. Do you know the whole reason why we're on the planet, and this is profound, is for us to basically remember we're consciousness and remember how to master our energy, how we work with energy, instead of thinking of ourselves as energy. It's profound, right? And people might need to contemplate that. But we're not energy beings as much as we are consciousness. We're awareness, all right? And we use energy. We use the body as energy, but we utilize it. And it's funny because people wake up and they start seeing truths and start waking up to stuff. And then their real journey is where they're sort of moving from the wake up to the mastery of energy and remembering, oh God, I know all this shit. I know it all. I know. Yeah. So hopefully people help you remember what you know. So it's that mastery.
There's a real difference between waking up to the truth and waking up to your consciousness. And this is something I've been speaking about for the last about 18 months publicly, Debs, because there seems to be a real difference. People are like, oh yeah, I'm awake because it's the truth, or their perceived version of truth anyway. And actually, they've got a level of awareness. Like you said, the truth movement, things like that have been a great tool for people.
Oh, they've been helpful.
But then the real crux of the work is actually consciousness.
Truly. And it's continuing to raise the consciousness, which is raising awareness.
Yeah.
And as you raise awareness, it does get more chaotic.
Yeah.
But it's meant to. And we all know about that because the old's breaking down. But you don't go down with the ship. You don't keep feeding things that are going down with the ship. Don't keep giving your valuable consciousness and awareness to those things, retract it, pull it back in, pull it back inside.
Love that.
And this is where I'm going to come to my next point about your own higher self. Now, remember back years ago when I said to you, when we finished, I said, just nurture that connection with you. And we saw it as a golden body of light. And I said, just keep going up there and bring her down and stuff. And you always did anything I offered this. You're like, yeah, I'll do that. And you did it. And you proved to yourself. In the end, you kept doing it. And then she became you. And now you just guide, I'm off to Ireland. I'm doing everything. Because you know, babe, what you need to do.
Yeah.
Why? Because she's in you, like my higher self is integrated, right? Your higher self is the go-to for the human, right? You are always connected, but most people have got old life stuff and it kind of blocks their heart and then they feel they're not connected. But to keep it really real, you are always connected to your higher self and it is you, right? And it's the first go-to for the human. And when we, at the end, we'll do a little medi for them. I even thought I should just make a meditation and give it to you so you can, give the download to people. Please. Just to help your peeps. Because
please.
Everything you can do can be quick and easy. In this chaotic time, you can do quick and easy, right? And you don't need to know all the details to get somewhere. Like you said, you got to learn to go with your flow. So with the higher self, though, being the go-to, here's something I've noticed. I've had this with a couple of my clients. If people don't nurture that connection with the go-to, the higher self, which is like your guardian angel, by the way, which is why some people call it, what happens is there's room for things to insert in between. So your level of discernment about what you're going to do, it gets skewed because this is, it can create confusion, interference. And I've had a couple of clients where because I always say, look, connect with you first, then connect to anything else outside of that. Don't connect to things outside unless you're doing it with you first, right? And I've had a couple of clients where their paths have changed because what they've done is they've looked out here somewhere, right? And they've gone bypast their higher self. And guess what? Things have got a bit sticky.
Oh, wow.
Because what they've done is they've gone out and it's your higher self not only stabilizes your human and can integrate with your human, that's the purpose anyway. It stops a lot of the interference. It'll help you understand what's going on. It will stabilize the mind. It enables you to actually even observe what's going on in your life. So you can actually use looking at yourself, you're thinking, that pattern keeps coming up. So the higher self will do that, right? People don't realize. So if you're not nurturing that, what you're going to find is you're going to get confusion. People often say to me, I don't know if that voice is mine, if that's an old life, or if that's what this is. I can't stress it enough because I've noticed with two of my clients, particularly, this has happened. And I thought, wow. And then what their higher self said to me was like, well, they've chosen to move away from me, so we have to honor that. But really, it's better to come in and go through. And when we do sessions, right, everything's done from the higher self. I always go up into the higher self, even though it's actually here, and you literally do everything from there. This is something else people need to know. It's not your human doing this whole change, this descension thing. It's the other parts of you. So if you don't connect, you're going to feel out of it, out of the loop. So that's so important. And even just connecting to your heart, you're connecting in a way because there's a soul spark in there to your higher self. But when we do it at the end, and I'll make something, you can just slip it into this content here, just for your people, they can go and grab the link or something.
Perfect.
Just to help them do this quick, because then what it will do is it will clear them and they can do it in a quick and easy way. And you are such a good example of that, because you just literally, she just landed in you and you're just like, I'm doing that, I know what I'm doing, I don't need to. And you've even said on your call, I don't know why, but I'm just doing it. That's like beautiful.
People say to me all the time, they're like, but how do you know? I'm like, I just know. She's in charge. It's not me. I'm just the vessel.
It's you, but it's the other part of you. And it's so beautiful because when you say I just know, you're in your knowing, not in your beliefs. See, people, there's belief, and then there's knowing, and then there's actually absolute knowing, but that's another call. But go from, you know, thinking your way to feeling your way, right? And you're in your know. When you're in your knowing, you will do things that other people, well, like when you left your job. When I left my corporate job, people looked at me and said, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just know. I'm dying here. I've got to get out." But that's your knowing anyway. So that nurturing the higher self is huge, all right? And it can stop you getting confusion and stuff. Right, next thing. This is cool. This is the biggest thing that regulates people's descension or their pathway, right? You know how I relate to what I call earth software, right? I've got a couple of recordings out there. I've got one out there that helps people get out of the linear mind.
I'll pop all of the links in the description just so that everybody watching knows. Everything to do with Debs will be in the description, so go check that out.
Yeah. So I put one out, you know, some time ago, and it was about moving from your linear human mind, which gets all confused, into the heart, back into the divine mind, you know, like you're living, right? So that recording's out there. But the thing with the mind or the earth software, how do we say this? Right. Okay, we know it can be a bit of a trickster, but it's connected to other people. It's connected to mass consciousness. Your mind is in the mental plane. That's further away. It's not in here. It's kind of in your auric field. So it's actually connected outside of you. Caleb did a good video for that.
Yeah.
You know, for the kids actually, but it still relates to adults too.
Yeah, we'll pop
like, just remember, your mind is software. It's outside of you. It's not you, but people think it's them, right? They think it's their voice in their head. And that's when they start thinking they're going mad. They're not. They're just listening to the mind. And the mind is not just theirs. It's actually connected to, you know, mass consciousness and old lives. If any of you out there have had lives in Atlantis, you may even have like those hypnotic overlays, because in Atlantis, they programmed the mind and people forgot who they were. And it was an experiment. It worked very well. Yeah. So just remember what your mind is. You're not your mind. Yeah. Do you remember we undid that band and stuff? And this is the thing. See, when people are stuck in their mind, or they think they're their mind, their earth software, it's that you basically go nowhere fast. It just trips you up all the time. All right. So what did I put here? Oh, here's something we can do right now. Just this is quick and easy. This happened actually on Facebook. Someone said to me, "Oh, I've got so much going on in my head." And I said, "Look," and it was a client. And I said, "Look, you've actually, you're not your mind." But she said, "It's spinning out." And I said, "Look, here, what you're doing is you're picking up mass consciousness, right? And obviously when you've got your connection strong with your higher self, you know it's not yours. You're like, whoa, where's that coming from?" You know, you might out of the blue feel strong energy and think, "Oh, that's not mine. Shit, what's going on here?" You'll be picking up mass consciousness, or the collective, the ones that are asleep, that are, thinking. I just said to her, do this. Imagine, from 1 to 10, there's like one of those old dials, like it's just 10's high and 1's low. I said to her, just turn mass consciousness down. Imagine you're doing it. You intend to do it. You know how the power of intention is. She did it and just got back to me within 20 seconds and said, "Oh my God, I can feel it's gone quiet." I'm telling you guys, it's the simple things. Just turn mass consciousness down, or what I've done now is completely unhooked from it.
Yeah.
So, it's your choice. But the truth is, you can turn it down. You don't have to hear that out there. Bring your focus back inside. Keep it real, keep it real with you. So I want you to go like that.
That's really, that's really helpful. Just throwing it down. Mic drop. Boom.
It's so funny. Exactly. It's so funny. But these things come and I just think, wow, that's quick, easy, boom, boom. This is how you can use your mind, though, to find things. This is very helpful. If you're running a certain pattern, right, the pattern, it will come from the mind. It'll be like a thought, "Oh, this is happening," or "You're not good enough." Or you'll see that pattern's coming from the mind. The mind is really good at bringing you patterns. Like, let's imagine it's an old life and it's coming up, keeps coming up, and those words keep coming. And you're thinking, "No, I don't feel like that," but the voice is still in my head. That is potentially an old life. So use the mind to allocate things, and then make peace with that and let it go. you know, and that's what we do in sessions. But it's just that if you've got patterns, the mind will tell you, and that's where it's really good. It will actually help you, the mind, like that. The other thing I say to people, this happens heaps. They'll say to me, oh, this has been going on in my mind. You know, I keep thinking this. And I'll say to them, do this. This is a quick, short thing. I'll say, put your hand on your heart and just ask, is that me? Is that me? Or is it mine? And if it's not, cut it off. Because sometimes there's energy in the mass conscious that you feel like it's yours, and you start taking it in or repeating it. And then it's not you. It's not you. If you're doing the work, it's probably not you. No, so just unplug, all right? Because the mind, it can really take that. So the hand on the heart, quick, easy, you know? Yeah, cool. So guys, you won't, I mean, even right now, it's not a time to plan things. You know, you go with short term, because planning's a mental thing. Goals are mental, you know all this. So feel your way, intuit your way. And you can only do that if you put you check your human mind, right, and you line up with your higher self. Then it's Christmas, because like you literally know what to do, like Lucy, and that's what she's done. It's awesome.
Thank you.
You're awesome. You know, people do sessions, and most people, you know, they'll take a couple of steps, but you just ran with it. But that's what we do, right? You and I. That's we're on the same page. You grab something, we go, let's do it. I'm like, why am I waiting? You know, and I know there's masculine energy in there. It's our old corporate energy. It gets things done, but someone's got to do it.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, just those things. I hope those little tips help. Now with the body,
so helpful.
This is really, and it's quick things, right? Don't complicate stuff. Even with it's funny because with sessions now, we don't process anything. Like we just go click, click. And you said that before. You're like, things just happening quick with people. You know?
I mean, I haven't done a session with you in such a long time. I imagine the process has completely changed.
Yeah, it depends on the person, because I can adapt to everybody, and I just tune into their higher self. But you don't need me, babe. You got you. This is the great thing. But when we're together, we you know, that sharing it can elevate things.
Absolutely,
right? On all levels.
Absolutely, it really does. And the mountains get moved, don't they? It's amazing.
Yeah. And that's where the fun is, right? When you're with a soul sister from another mother, it's kind of funny. It's like you just both vibe up, you both energize up. And you help other people like that too. You know, it's pretty cool. But anyway, going off track here. Bodies. How's your body been?
Mine. So
I know you're good with all your stuff, but
but what's really interesting is I've probably put on 2 kilos, and no matter what I do, it will not shift it. Like it's really interesting, and I'm like, where's this come from? But I'm
especially you, because you're good with
I
all
run, and I and I'm not eating. I mean, I've been a little bit more enjoying my time on holiday, but I haven't really been eating badly or and it's just, I'm just surrendering to it. I'm just literally surrendering, but my physical body inside feels amazing. Like I feel younger, I feel more energized, I feel like I've got such a beautiful relationship with my womb right now. Like I speak to her. I know. I speak to her constantly, and she's telling me what's going on, and I'm like, this is freaking amazing, you know. So it doesn't look how it did look, you know, which obviously starts a little program of, oh God, what's going on? But I feel freaking amazing.
So when you said, oh, but inside me, my body feels like this, you're really probably talking about your energy feeling great.
Yeah.
So you have just basically, you're giving us a snapshot of what's going on, right? Because it's funny, because, there's 2 things going on with your body, right? First of all, when people wake up, you know, and I know, you've got the old life stuff, and the body's showing you where there's things that aren't resolved or need attention. So if there's things going on in different areas of the body, then, you know, you can go into that area of the body and find out, what am I storing there? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. That's the first part. And obviously that takes a while to unpack. And I would say to people, just keep flowing. And the things that you need to do, you know, as you know, you've got to move your body. You don't have to hammer it, but You've got to move it, babe. You can't not move it. And you do need to drink a lot of water because the cells need it. You know, and with the other stuff, you should listen to your body because everyone's different. I've noticed people, depends on their old lives, what they might eat or what they might do. But I always say to people, this is funny, you've got your mouth, what you want to taste, and then you've got what your body needs, right? So I just say to people, tune into your body, and that's, you really have to. And if you don't, you will, you know. But anyway, you've got the old life stuff. And actually, I've been watching this. Your old life stuff, the wisdom integrates, and then it drops out all of the old emotion, and then the body lets go. So it kind of does it in phases. So, and you just said, oh, you know, well, actually, I'll back up because this will make sense in a minute. So that happens, but now what's happened also, and this is where you're at, right? Once you've actually done your awakening, you've cleansed out your soul matrix and many lives and stuff. Once you've done that, you really start bringing that light in. Now, we are moving, as you know, and you would have told your people, from carbon-based bodies, truly, and science can prove this, to crystalline energy. And we are bringing it. We're bringing it in. It's on automatic when people have cleaned up. But aches and pains, normal. All sorts of funny symptoms. But what the bodies are telling me, and this is through sessions as well, the bodies are saying, don't try to keep fixing me, allow me the space and time to do what I need to. So be patient. Self-love, I've heard you talking about that, you know, love just a few times. So loving yourself, taking care of yourself, you know, but stop trying to whip or be I bet you make yourself your own program. Like, it's like you've got to. And if we most, oh God, it's like a box. Actually, Caleb and I, a few weeks ago, we were doing a meditation, and we just literally started undoing all the programming on earth about the body, not just the aging, but also things like even the health and fit. When I was in the health and fitness industry, wow, you know, that's full of gunk as well. So it's all these conditions. That's the best way to put it. We are dissolving all conditions around our body. So that's what we were doing, because the body's just reacting to what we've given it as a program, you know, and that's breaking down, as you know, just like the banking system and stuff, but that is breaking down inside the body as well. And we've been letting go of stuff. So you can feel fantastic inside, but you may very well look different on the outside. And that is just bloody fine, I'll tell you, because your body, the more you bring that light in, and it's an alchemy process, it can hurt. And you can get reactions on your skin. Like, I've got a reaction on one of my legs at the moment, and I tuned in my body's like, oh, we're just releasing something, so just don't try and fix it. Awesome. And I've got aloe on it and stuff, but I'm just like, no, let it go, Deb. And so I've given up the fight with the body. That's actually really important. If people fight their body trying to whip it in, I've heard you say this, do little things. Drink my water, go for a walk, do what you need to, but honor your body. But just realize it's going through a lot of cleansing, and it's also bringing the light body, and there's 2 phases to that. And yeah, that's a process. It's actually sentient. It's on its own, you know, but you can't really speed that up. But anything else you would share about the body?
No, not really.
It's important, no?
Yeah, I just feel right now the best thing to be is intuitive. If you're craving, so whilst I've been here, there's been days where I just want to eat fruit, so I just eat fruit. You know, I'm not forcing anything. The only thing that I would say that I do kind of force, but it's a real like pull that I get, is to get out and either walk or run, because I love it so much, mentally, physically. It just ignites something in me. But I don't.
We've got that in common.
Yeah, I don't force it. I just really, really enjoy it. But for me, it's. I mean, I'm drinking about 6 liters of water a day at the moment, because I can't get enough. I just can't get enough, and I know it's because of the light that's coming through, the downloads I'm getting, the activations I'm getting, the insights, the channeling.
It's continual. It just keeps coming.
Yeah, it's off the wall, and that's why some days I'm like, right, I just need to eat raw today, for example. I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying, oh, I just want to fast. That's fine if you're doing that, but make sure that it's not coming coming from a space of ego. Literally surrender and allow your body to flow, because you might choose to fast when actually your body needs to nurture and nourish.
And anywhere you're battling yourself, you really got to go with the flow, but really honor it and take time out for it. It's crucial.
I was
just thinking
the other thing I just think is really important is, just because your mate's doing it or your partner's doing it doesn't mean it's aligned for you. I think that's just a really important point we need to get across.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and we're unique in even what we would do for exercise. And you know, you and I are both, even though I haven't been running, but I've definitely walking and stuff. And I love bouncing. So I've got, you know, a Bellicon, I've got one of those, and I just love it. And we hammer it in the lounge because we've got, you know, a gym set up and we just do that. But we're down the beach every day as well. And I might walk, but running, actually full on running right now, I'm bringing a lot of light in, and my body doesn't like it. And it says to me, no. So then what I do instead is walk up 2 steps at a time. You know how it goes. I do that instead.
We make it work.
But yeah, don't force it. Definitely. I just got something come in there as well. It's with headaches. I don't know if any of your your group have been having headaches, but I just want you to know, as like the body continues to vibe up, things continue to happen. A lot of stuff, like the brain can't handle a lot of the new consciousness, and that's why we have to sleep or get tired and stuff. So listen to solfeggio for that. Remember we talked about that, and you probably still do it. Listen to something. Oh, babe. Okay, so for example, because I love the nana nap, like the afternoon nap, like sometimes we'll do that if you're exhausted, or you know, but if you try the solfeggio first, if you've got things on, just like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, give the brain, because you know it plays those 2 frequencies, give the brain the vibe up, then you might find it will actually be able to run the consciousness, the high consciousness. So the tiredness is the resistance. The other thing I got told, this is quite recent too, stop shielding yourself. Stop doing too much of the shield, because you're stopping yourself from coming in as well. So what I did was I sort of set this intention, right? No, stop shielding. What you do is once your vibe gets a certain, once it's high anyway, you're off the radar in many ways, right? Unless you're still engaging dodgy stuff. If you're engaging it, it can engage you. But if you're not engaging it, right, then, and your vibe high, mostly you're off the radar. But all you do is you just keep bringing more of you in. Expand, bring more of you, expand. Don't, because if you keep putting things around you, you're going to resist yourself as well. You're pushing things away. But I set the intention that I'm not bringing in mass consciousness. I'm not bringing in everybody else. I'm bringing in me. So keep bringing yourself in and expanding. And help the brain with solfeggio, and that's very helpful.
That's a really good tip. Thanks for sharing that, Debs. I think that's a really good tip.
Because you tend to shut down, don't you, when you feel overloaded? Don't do that. Keep opening up, because otherwise
attacked, right? You know, because there's a lot of psychic attacks, things like that taking place at the moment. People are feeling very sensitive to that kind of stuff. So it's a really good tip that you've just shared there.
And let me say this about the psychic attacks, because that's real reality, keeping it real. But what actually happens is that energy is looking for itself. All right. So if you've still got some stuff going on in there, guys, it resonates to what's inside you.
Absolutely.
And then what happens is then is almost like a light frequency attract, you know. So this is what happens. So I'm not saying it's not there, but it's actually alerting you. It's actually, shadow's the greatest teacher.
Yeah. It really is.
And you start claiming your sovereignty back. And just keep vibing yourself up. The other quick thing I do for your people, just do this. You could be sitting in the sun or whatever. Just start spinning your cells anti-clockwise. So you're spinning them up, spin all your cells anti-clockwise. Just direct them and spin up and keep vibing your body up. Little things like that we do, and
it feels like you've taken drugs once you do that, just so you know.
I know.
It's like, whoa, we're flying. It's amazing. I do it every day.
Yeah. So just spin your cells anti-clockwise, not clockwise, because it's anti-clockwise that vibes you up. Keep everything simple. I've simplified absolutely everything, and I don't fight anything, my body, my mind, or anything. But my mind works with me. Actually, it's a good team member. Let's talk about truths, because we I've heard you talking about this lately too. You know, there's the outside truths, right? And depending on where you're at, your vibration, you'll attract those truths. All right. And it might be because you need to know something about that, wake up to something or whatever. But so truth, there's not one truth. It's all layered. All right. When you're looking at it from the outside. Here's the news, though. The only truth that is important right now, and that's why I say bring it back inside, is your truth. Now, your individual soul truth is everything. And that, in a way, is like the piece of New Earth, right? Because I told you it's folding from, you know, as you know, it's coming from inside out.
Yeah.
So if you focus, you know, when you do your meditations or however you connect to yourself, you nurture that connection to your higher self. If you focus on your soul truth, that's the only one you want to be concerned with. That's what's going to give you your next steps on your life as well. It's like it's the driving, it's the passion, it's the driving force, and it's why you're here. So guys, I really can't say this enough, like bring it back inside yourself, because yeah, otherwise you'll be keeping feeding into someone else's truth. And once you're awake to it, just unplug from it, you know. Yeah, that came up. That was really big for me. I was thinking,
I like
wow.
it.
Yeah, and I realized I was looking at it.
Makes total sense. You know,
people often say, oh, it's not me, I'm not bringing New Earth. Yes, you are. We all are together.
Yeah.
And
it's a very important, the image that I get, as you know, I'm very visionary. The vision that the vision that I got when you were just talking then was literally just the pieces of the puzzle slotting together. And every single one of us is a piece of that puzzle, and we need to take responsibility for that piece of the puzzle. We can't blame Debs because she didn't have time to do a session with you, or your partner because they left you. No, it's you. You are the piece of the puzzle. And remember, what's the most annoying thing for kids? If there's a piece of the puzzle missing.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, kids will show you when things aren't there, and they won't respect the lack of alignment. So they'll show you that they'll be dysfunctional. Yeah.
And I'm witnessing a lot of that, but by the swimming pools, because I'm obviously with my little sisters here.
No boundaries.
There's so many kids, and I'm just like, wow, this is really fascinating. And my two little sisters are so grounded in comparison. It's very interesting. Beautiful. And they're just constantly coming to me and asking. I mean, one of my little sisters has just been question. Because she remembers her life as a mermaid now. And like, we're stepping through all of this.
That's amazing. I love that.
Just boom, 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 boom. It's incredible.
Oh, I love it. See, yeah.
And they're giving permission to the other kids to level up. So now all the other kids are coming to me and they're like, you know, so it's incredible. I've been divinely placed here.
Oh, totally. And as you know, children choose to be always. You choose your children, they choose you, and your sisters knew you being there.
I can hear mine choosing me at the moment a
lot. Yeah. That's the next step. Hey, I was just thinking about something there actually, to do with, you know how you just said you noticed the kids. Well, I've been noticing, you know how there's such increased awareness and chatting about the mind and mental health and mental disorders and stuff. You know, I said this in one of my other calls, but if people think that they are their mind and they identify with being their mind, then they will have some sort of mental disorder or mental dysfunction on a planet that's cleansing and ascending. Because what's happening is the mind's getting busier because it can't work out what to do next, and the mind doesn't have answers for what's next. Your heart does, right? That's why I made that recording from Linear Mind to, you know. So, but what's happening is people start to, this is happening with clients as well. Oh, what's going on? They feel like they're going mad, but it's an old part of them that's trying to get their attention. All right.
I love it.
Even things like self-harming could be an old part of you from an old life trying to get attention. You know, things like that. It can all be. So your mind, you're not your mind. So you will feel you're going mad if you do align with that. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to get back into your heart. Because even when you go to counseling, look, I used to do some of that counsel work with my people. I think, wow, I'm talking from my mind to their mind. That doesn't help. Yeah. You've got to get back into your heart, which is what we do, obviously, and then that gets people back. But the other thing I was told in a meditation a long time ago, but this is, I've seen this come up in the media, the increase in SSRIs, you know, the medications for people that are depressed and flat. well, you know, a lot of the depression is people not letting the consciousness is up, but they're not letting themselves in. They're not nurturing that connection, that flow with their higher self.
Yeah.
And what happens is they're sitting in stagnant energy. And so they feel depressed, and then they use their mind to try and get out of it, and that doesn't work. So yeah, I would say to people, avoid taking medications and do your energy work like, you know, we do, because once you take SSRIs or those antidepressants, it flattens your connection and your ability to link to your higher self. I'm just going to tell you straight up, I just know that. So I just wanted to share that with people. And I'm not saying to people, oh, just go out and come off medication, because people are going to be responsible for themselves. But try to, you know, do your energy work so that you can, you basically can, you know, dissolve that stagnant energy.
Yeah, and look at things with a different perspective, because as soon as you've started recognizing what you've been bringing in yourself, then you can see things slightly differently. And it might be that you get to a point whereby you can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel without actually having to go down that route of being heavily medicated or something like that. You know, it's just
at least be open to it. Because I just could see sometimes, you know, like you, I see into that future, and I think, whoa. And it's because they've identified with being their mind. They're listening to the voice in their head. They're not clearing out old energy, so they're sitting in stagnant energy. And it feels, and I'm not undermining what it feels like, you know, for people. I do have compassion, but I just need to cut to the chase. And if you're looking at it from a, you know, an expansive point of view, then you know, you got to nurture yourself, get back into your heart, and don't listen to the voice in the head, because that will send you crazy. You know. So yeah, huge. So should we do a little meditation to help people?
Yes, definitely.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Because everyone can always do with a bit of a clean up and a reset. And what I'll do is I've sort of designed a little new way of connecting to your higher self and radiating out and cleaning your old lives without doing much. Like you literally, so this new way of doing it, if people do nothing more than this for a couple of weeks, they'll notice a big change in their life.
Phenomenal.
And it's short and it's sweet. And babe, there's no excuses for time. You know, if people, you know, even if we make it 10 minutes, does that sound good?
Yeah,
so everyone, it'll be good
perfect.
for us, and it'll be good for the planet, and you know, and so when people listen to this, whenever it is, whether it's tomorrow, it doesn't matter when it is. Whenever they listen to it, they'll be included in this.
Perfect.
Right? And you can stand in for them right now, but they'll do their thing when they listen. Cool.
Sounds beautiful.
Okay. So is there anything else we want to talk about? Because we won't want to talk after that, because it'd be just like,
no.
Okay.
I just want to say that I have loved this. I mean, I love every time I speak to you, but I've loved this, and I know I can feel the souls like popping as they're like, you know, obviously I'm preempting that because they haven't listened to it yet, but I can literally feel their souls going, oh my God, I needed that. Oh my God, I needed that.
Just reminders.
And there's just going to be these really, really beautiful, almost like a popping sensation going on. So I'm really excited. Everybody do make sure that you pop some comments in, and I'll share them with Debs, or she'll check in herself. But don't forget,
if they want to ask anything, they could,
absolutely.
you know, they could put a message there.
Absolutely.
So I'll look at them too.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Amazing. Let's
we're all in this. Yeah. And we're in this together, right? So, you know, we're all helping each other. And when two people get together that are high vibe, and other people start listening, and we create that energy movement. Exactly. And what I've found is, you know, the less you agenderize or put, you know, agendas on things, the more powerful you are as a soul. And one of the reasons why I had to unplug from things is because as this highlight comes in, I'm like, whoa, I can't afford to give that in the wrong place. So I don't even go, oh, peace to the world. I just radiate my consciousness, which is sentient, and it knows what to do. And so I get my human out of the way, right? You know, because I feel that's all limited. So, okay, darling, let's close your eyes. So it's good for you too. Okay, just take a couple of breaths. Wherever you are in the world, whenever you listen to this, you're with us now. I want to acknowledge you for being on the planet. And we're going to make this quick and easy. But we call this call today keeping it real. It's up to you what you make real. And by you nurturing this connection with your higher self and walking through these steps, you'll better be able to do that. Start unplugging from things that don't serve you. So just bring your awareness into your heart and just relax. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a cleansing sweep through you and through the space you're in as well, your home or wherever you are. So just follow my words. You can vision up things if you wish, but just be with me, be with Lucy, and just allow this to happen for you. We're going to use Saint Germain's violet flame, but we're going to use it in a blanket form. So just follow this. Take your awareness to the core of the earth, just like that. Choose to take part of your awareness there. And you will see a beautiful blanket of the violet flame. So it's violet, shimmery crystals, and it's woven. And it's a blanket, but it has Saint Germain's violet flame in it. What we're going to do together underneath your space is bring that blanket up. So you're cleansing through the earth, you're gathering with that violet flame blanket. It will naturally gather energy that's non-resonant to you and non-resonant to the planet. So allow this blanket to come through the layers of the earth underneath you. And it's coming up to your body now, and now it's going to sweep through your body and through the place you're sitting in, wherever you are, your home. And see this violet flame go above you, this blanket. You can see it's gathered a lot of density as it's gone through you, through your home, through everything. And now together we push it towards the sun. We're actually pushing it to the central sun. Take a big breath and just reset yourself. We've just swept through with a violet flame blanket, and it knows what to do. You don't have to get complicated, and you can use the violet flame that way. That's the first part. Okay, the next part. Acknowledge your higher self. You can see it as just above you, just for a visual. It is inside, but put it above you so that we can use a visual or imaginative visual to help you. 1 meter above you, a golden body of light. This is you. It's the part of you that didn't come through the veil. It's the part of you, it's the first port of call basically for you as the human. Now see how it's glowing golden, and in its hands it's holding a beautiful crystalline rod. It's like a rod that's the length of your whole body, from the top of your head down to your feet. And this higher self, your higher self, is holding this golden rod, and what's going to happen is it's going to bring that with, when it comes into your body very soon, we're going to bring that rod, and there's a reason for that crystalline rod. It's going to give you stability in your life. It's going to bring some stability to your physicality, your body. It's going to stabilize you in a world that is moving chaotic and out of sync. You can be stable with you. Now watch as the golden higher self comes down. It's just beautiful. It's like you're almost beckoning it down, and you open your heart chakra, and you'll see the soul spark just come alive in there as soon as you bring the golden energy down. Now allow your golden higher self to overlay you, to start to integrate into your cellular makeup in your physical body. It's like you're absorbing it. Even you can breathe if you wish, but just see your cells really kind of absorbing your own energy. This is you with your own energy. You don't need outside energy. This is you with you. This is absolutely the purpose of being on the planet, connecting with your first go-to, your higher self. Feel how the cells might be popping, and really let your own energy in, and you'll see that heart start to really come alive. That heart chakra is almost, looks like a sun, a golden sun. And you can feel that rod and that strength down your back. You feel stable and solid in your body. Just breathe and really center yourself. Now, to be clear, once you connect and you'll have your higher self like this is when you can connect to the other parts of you, because we all are multidimensional. We have other facets, but it's the it's the higher self first. This is so important, guys. So you have it here now. So now what we're going to do, this is super simple and quick and easy. All right? Take your focus into the heart and watch as the heart starts glowing like a sun and it starts to radiate out. You'll see it start to radiate out into your aura, the energy around you. Allow it to move out, expand with it. Okay, now what we're doing is we're going to radiate out to this life. This life, your current life right now is most important, right? So radiate, allow this light from your heart to go out to this life, the perceived past and the future of this life. Radiate your light on your life. That's the key here. Own it. It's like, yes, I'm radiating to my life. I'm giving my life my energy, my light. Me with me. And now radiate past that to your other lives. Imagine you have a circle of all your other lives around you. Radiate your light out to them, because your light knows what to do with your other lives. Allow that light to go out. And it's like your old lives, your old aspects of you are sucking in that light. It's like you're doing your own healing, even though, you know, I'm not fond of the word healing. Radiate your light, because the light has what you need in it. It knows what to do. It's sentient. And now we're going past your other lives. We're going to go into your darkness. Everyone avoids shadow and darkness, but shine your light into your darkness. Doesn't matter how you see it. Shine it. Light it up. You know, your darkness is full of potentials. Things you haven't even done yet is in your darkness. And the old lives or the old self that you've cut off is in your darkness. It's time to reclaim that power back. Anytime you're leaving something out like that and you're not radiating your light on your darkness or your shadow, you're not whole and complete. So do that now. It's like shining in your darkness. This feels good. We're just radiating, getting bigger and expanding more. Now, radiate past your darkness into your ancestral line. By Hoki, they need it. Shine that light to the ancestors. We're not telling them, oh, you heal, you do this. We're just radiating light without agenda, and that's more powerful. It knows what to do. So simple. Yay, ancestors, look, I'm grateful for everything you gave me, but here you go. Take your own light. I don't need to run your old patterns anymore. And they're all smiling at you. You know, you can see your granddad, Lucy. Just there, radiate the light to those beautiful beings, your ancestors. And now, guys, for the last thing to do, radiate your light across this planet. See Mother Earth, see the light, and just see you are like a golden sun, and it's gone so expansive. And as you radiate out, you are radiating to the children. You are radiating to the trees. You are radiating to the sleep, the ones that are asleep. What they do with that energy is up to them. We're not telling them what to do. This is so important. But when you radiate without this agenda, and it's like, it's so powerful, but in a soft way. Just know, if you did that every day, we did that in about 5 minutes, you will make a difference. So Lucy, now when you open your eyes, just come back into yourself. But that is a simple, quick way. And obviously it's going to be on this recording, but I'm going to do a little recording for your peeps. And I'm going to put it in that thing so that they can just download it.
Thank you. That was amazing. And I had
Simple.
such beautiful visions as I was stepping through, and it was just beautiful. So thank you, because I feel completely energized now. I'm like, right.
It's like a reset, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes what we do, see, even with the answers, if you just keep radiating like that, it'll unlock you from any of the old stuff. So you don't even need to know some of the old lives these days. Obviously, if you've got sticky things and you need to get into a session, cool. But if you use that, it's going to get to most of your stuff.
Yeah, I love
Keep it simple.
I love you so much, Deborah Collins.
And I love you.
I don't know you as Deborah. I've always known you as Debs, and I look at your website and I'm like, why is it not Debs? And now I know. Oh, I love you so much. You've been a shining light in my life for so many years now, Debs. Like, you and your family, they are my family, and I'm just so grateful to you for taking the time to come on and to share. You know, it makes me get emotional when you and I speak, because of where we've come from, and you know, the sheer size of what we're doing on the other realms that, you know, a lot of people couldn't even comprehend. And I just honor you so much. I love you, and I honor you so much for everything that you're doing and the contribution that you're bringing, Debs, because you are a fucking beam of light in a very, very dark.
I like that.
Yeah, well, it had to be the F-bomb, didn't it? Nothing else would cut it.
It had to be the F-bomb. Did you notice I haven't gone there tonight? But you know, it is part of my vocab. It's just an expression. But I want to say something to you. I want to honor you for the people you're bringing together, babes. You know, the people that are following you are the ones that are going to make a difference too. And that takes time and energy. And you put a lot of time and energy into that. So, you know, that's why I'm fronting up here, because you doing it, I'm doing it, we're doing it. We got this, guys. You can only do it when you do what we're doing. Get back with you, because, you know, we just stimulate other people's memories, but you are the one you've been waiting for. You're the one, you know, that has got the piece of the new earth. So rock on, let's go.
Oh,
you know?
I love you. I love you. I love you.
You know, I really see what you're doing. Love to all your peeps. I know you got a great crowd.
A little bit emotional after that.
Oh, that's good. Take that, baby. Take that.
Ladies and gents, my heart's just gone poof. So hopefully.
Now you're going swimming now or something? You're going to go and be with the girls?
I'm going to go and be a mermaid.
Have some fun.
Twins, absolutely. So ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. Please do comment. Please do check out the description. I will come back. Debs will come back, and we will see you super, super soon. Debs, you're coming back on to do another one.
I will.
Love, ladies and gents. We'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.